So habari zenu. Naitwa Dr. Ngulungu. Mimi ni pathologist wa kaunti hii na nafanya kazi katika hii hospitali mnaona ya Nakuru County Teaching and Referral Hospital. On this day, I've been requested by the family and also the DCA to do a postmortem on a child. The child I was told came from Moi Primary School, and I was told this child collapsed somewhere in the school. So I have the relatives here who have identified the child for me, and I have done the postmortem with them, and I have explained every step during the postmortem. Any feature that I observed on the body, I've told them, and I've explained to them what it meant. And do I talk about the finding?
Yeah.
So this child, this body has not reviewed any major trauma. The body only reviewed a small trauma which was minor on the forehead, and I dissected all the subcutaneous tissue, and I did not find any evidence of trauma. I also looked at the chest, the upper limbs, the head, the buttocks, the thighs, and also the feet. There was no evidence of trauma. Whether bruises, contusion, laceration, trauma, they were never there. They were not described. Internal examination reviewed features of circulatory failure. However, there was no specific features to show what caused this circulatory failure. Initially, during the external examination, the body showed deep cyanosis, which is a feature of hypoxia on the body. But when I went inside, I did not get any specific feature to suggest why this child got circulatory failure. So, for my conclusion, there was a small patch on the heart. I've taken it for histology. The wall of the stomach looked hemorrhagic, sort of. I've taken it for toxicology, together with the blood, liver, and also the kidneys for further examination, so that we can make a conclusion. But for the time being, we can say this person had a circulatory failure, probably due to adrenergic condition, do not know. But that one will be taken care of the IO. But any structural or anatomical, pathological lesions or toxicological will be determined by the organs which we are going to take for toxicological profiles. And that if that patch of the which I saw on the heart was significant, it will be shown by histological examination. But the main issue here, I have to say that the child did not, the body did not see, there was no features of trauma. The trauma that was there was minor. Now, those were the features which I saw on the body. Na mwili isiwekelewe, imeongea. That's all.
When you say circulatory failure in layman's term, what exactly do you mean?
Just the heart, the blood, if you refuse to circulate. That's all. There was no, there was a circulatory failure, like the blood was not circulating well. Probably that is the reason why this joint collapsed. from the history. It is very clean. And the child has accepted that he collapsed. The body has accepted.
Maybe was that patch maybe a result of the collapsing?
I think that it was a serious it was due to any aggressive force. It was just a small one. So probably it was due to that collapse. If the child hit a hard surface, that one I can accept. But there was nothing else. You know, if somebody wants to kill, the person beats with a lot of aggression because the person wants to kill. But there was nothing to suggest that.
What about the other way around?
Eh?
What about the other way around?
The other way around is?
Maybe you say that the patch was out of collapsing. Suppose he was hit and collapsed.
No, that was you could when the person collapsed and probably you can see where the person was hit, and the body is not static. When you see somebody being hit, probably there is a defense. It was not there. But if you can see where the person was hit, and if the person fell on the ground, you can also see another one where the. I think these are opposite sides. If I hit on this side, you fall on the other side. So it was not there.
Describe the patch. Was it a hit, a swelling, or a cut, and how deep was it?
Just edematous, just discoloration, which was very minor.
Was the trauma on the forehead?
On the forehead, on the
consistent
forehead.
with a fall or maybe an accident?
Yeah, that is what he asked. Seems like it's very minor.
Doctor, what causes the circulatory failure?
Circulatory failure can be from the circumstance that was could be a heart problem, could be major bleeding, but can also be the heart losing a rhythms. Now the heart beats like tutu tutu tutu. If it beats like tutu tutu tutu, it will lose. It will cause circulatory failure. That's why I was when I was briefing them, I was telling them they all should go to the area, to the scene, either to see what the situation the boy was. That one comes from the scene and the persons who were there. But from the body, you cannot know whether the person was subject to fear, fight, flight. I do not know. But you see, this can also cause such arrhythmia.
That injury, was it caused by someone attacking the boy ama pale mali alianguka?
It is very difficult to say, but what I could say, the importance of it was very minor. They cannot cause death. That is the message. They cannot cause death. Because when you have a hit here, unless you have a bleeding in the brain, or brain contusion, or brain laceration, it is unlikely that you are going to die because of such trauma. The trauma which is very important is which causes the violent shaking of the brain, which was not there. Thank you very much.
Asanteni sana. Okay, my name is Vincent Onwonga Joseph. Fred Nyangui is my brother. Actually, I follow him. So the son who has passed is my son. What I can say, this tragedy has hit the family hard. And the circumstances surrounding the boy's death, somehow we get confused and we don't understand how this happened. From the doctor's report, that is after postmortem, well, we accept what has happened. We agree with the findings. But we have several questions that maybe we feel they should be answered by the school fraternity. Because the boy came out of their home in the morning, he got into school, and they were told there after that, the boy has collapsed. Now the information surrounding how this happened along the way up to the point kijana amefika hospitali or maybe amekufa, there are some contradicting information. Sometimes, yeah, let us talk as a family. It is hard and it is a feeling that we must preempt from our heart. The school, tunaweza ongea mbaya, but sometimes it's good we get that clarity from you. When the father was called that kijana amesilai, he got into the school, but I believe he was taken into circles. He did not get clear information that this happened. The boy maybe was in class, the boy was playing in the field, and this is what happened. The only thing he was told, mtoto alifika akasilai. So we didn't understand the circumstances which before the boy collapsed. Or maybe that one is an answer that we wish to get from the school, or maybe from the teachers that were with the boy the last minute, because hao ndio waliongea naye mara ya mwisho. Or maybe hao ndio walikuwa naye mara ya mwisho. So if we get that kind of answers, maybe our hearts will be well and light, at peace. Because what is happening is that the doctor has said that the circulation failure might have been caused by fear or maybe some other, maybe stress. So we wish to get from the people who were with the boy the last time, the last minute, and that is the school fraternity. Could it be they caused the fear to the child? Could it be the child was running to school and he failed? You know, those are things that we fail to understand. So kindly, as a school fraternity, we wish to get that information clear from your family, and we understand as a family what happened to this. Another thing is, well, you understand, from the look of things, you can see, kijana huyu ndugu yangu, ni mtu, he comes from a low family. Ni mtu amejitolea sana, na ni mtu alikuwa amejituma kijana yake asome, kwa sababu kumuleta to this school, which is highly competitive in terms of education, pia alikuwa anataka matokeo mazuri kutoka kwa kijana yake. But now it's unfortunate, it has happened. So, we don't know what will happen, but I believe if we don't get the answers clear, if we don't get the clear information on what surrounded this death, hatutapigana. And if the government or maybe the legal fraternity cannot help us to get the truth, tutaachia Mungu. Because yeye ndiye anajua whatever that happened. Otherwise, we appreciate everyone who has assisted us all through mpaka tumefika hapa. Another issue that shocked me is the charges that we were asked to pay for the government services. I was shocked when we were told to pay 12,000 shillings for the postmortem services. And this is a government hospital. To some extent, I really felt some corrupt way along the way, maybe to get us fear, or maybe to make us feel, maybe to make us feel that we cannot pay for those services. So we really don't understand why we are getting charged so highly for the services that maybe the government should be charging around 3,000 shillings. So those are some of the issues that got me into shock. Well, I think I should conclude by saying that we seek for the well-wishers, or maybe any other helper that can get into our hand, such that we give our brother's son a befitted send-off, and the other things we leave to God.
Maybe one question. Do you feel betrayed as a family by the school that mliaminia kuwa custodian wa mtoto wenu?
Well, in as much as they may be saying what really fits them right, somehow we feel betrayed, because when you as a parent, you go to a school and maybe you've been called, kuambiwa kwamba mtoto wako ni mgonjwa, when you don't get direct information that this is what happened, mtoto pengine alikuwa anacheza hivi ama akaanguka, you accept as a parent. But when you're taken to circles, mara unaambiwa kuja sign hii form, mara unaambiwa kuja fanya hivi, those are things that we really fear and feel. what was these people hiding from the truth? And why were they doing this? Because Kifo can come in any way, right? So that is what we really feel as a family, that something somewhere was not right. Yes.
My name is Bernard Chue, Chairman of the Board of Management, Moi Primary School. First of all, I want to say pole and condolences to the family of the late Moses. He was called Moses? Onyoni. Moses Onyoni is like my son. I'm deeply touched by the death of that young soul. Because this gentleman, the father, and the uncle who has just spoken here, they may not know it, but they are my homemates. We come from the same locality. So the death of this child has touched me personally. And as a board of management, you know we are not in daily contact with the students. I was called in yesterday when this incident happened, and I was told a child has collapsed and has been taken to the hospital where we are here today. So what I did, like any board chair can do, was to rush to the hospital, where I found the teachers, the school principal, and other workers of the school had already reached there with the boy. And the mother of the boy had also been called in. She had come, but the father had not arrived. So the clarity I want to put here is that the boy's father was not called to school. He was called in my presence when I was in the hospital. He even came, my brother, you found me there. He was brought in by the school accountant whom we sent. So when he came, he was taken through the normal procedures when such an incident happens. So if a child collapses in school, I appear to defend the school management. What is the reaction that one does immediately? Is to call in help, which came from the teachers. When they found the boy was unresponsive, he was unconscious, they put him in a teacher's car and rushed him to the hospital. That is the reaction any reasonable person can do. And it was done. So once they reached the hospital, the boy was examined by medics. And they said, Paul, I think we have lost this boy. From class, where he collapsed, to the office where he was taken, to the teacher's car, and to the hospital in that chronology. And all of us responded, including the board members who came there. So, whatever happened, I want to say, it can happen anywhere. People, children, collapse even at home. A school is just an environment where we all happen to be at one point. So the boy collapsed in the school. And he was handled professionally by the caretakers who handed him over to a medical facility. Now our fear and our emotions can run high. I want to ask members of the Fourth Estate who are here that the doctor who has examined the body has given a report. And the report is graphic. It was attended by the family, including the father and the uncle. It was attended by the school board members and teachers. And they were shown each procedure as it happened. And the doctor has given the order of events. And he has given a verdict. Where a verdict is inconclusive, he has said he will go further from what he has explained to us. We are laymen. We may not tell this. But I wanted to clear the air on behalf of the school, on behalf of the BOM, on behalf of the school management, that we do not tolerate among the teachers any mistreatment of children. Anyone, any teacher who is found to have been doing this is handled professionally according to the law. The report that the doctor has given here, I want to beseech the family who are my neighbors. We come from the same place, gentlemen, that we kindly accept the verdict that the doctor has given. Then we come together as a fraternity of the school, as a fraternity of the family, the neighbors, wherever you stay, we all come together as one unit. And we pool our resources. We bring our ideas. We also give prayers because we have children who are in that class. If we maintain a relationship of animosity, how are we going to give this boy a deserved, respectable send-off? So as a school, we are pained. It is not an easy thing to lose a child. It is not an easy thing to lose a child in school. These circumstances we're in is because the child collapsed in school. But we want to say, as a school, we did the best.
There's also the issue of the medics who examined the boy, saying that he was dead when he arrived at the hospital. And the reason why they refused to take him on the body is because there was no OB number. So I'm trying to ask the school, did they, after the boy was declared dead, because he was declared dead, did you try and get an OB number and bring it to the hospital?
Maybe in addition to what he is saying, or what he has asked, do you have CCTV in the school premises, and has the same been provided to the investigating officers? The OB number was, the matter was reported to the police post that is next to the school, and that is Showground Police Post, which is under Kaptembwa Police Station. It was reported at 12. So I'm just responding to the question you asked. Was an OB number taken? Yes, an OB number was taken. And it is here, and it's OB number 6.
How was it taken then?
You see, you have to wait for a confirmation from the doctors. You don't take an OB before the doctors confirm. There's a question you asked. Yes?
About CCTV.
CCTV, is it a... But is it covered in that area? There is CCTV. Excuse me, I'm answering that question on CCTV. We have CCTV coverage in the compound. Whoever is interested, you know, you don't provide a CCTV clip unless you have been asked. That is a legal matter. Even what the law that guides CCTV coverage, you have to follow the law. If the police or the family requests officially for the CCTV that happened around that time, they will be given.
The matter was the OB was obtained 3 hours after the child was pronounced dead.
Maybe you can.
What I've said is that an OB number is only taken when the medics have confirmed death. It was pronounced dead. Madam, can I maybe allow you to say something?
I wish to say that this is a very I'm Madam Caroline Chebe. This is a very sad situation that befell the school, and we are so sorry for Moses and family for whatever happened in our school. We find that the media reported so many things, but at long last, the results have come out. The death was pronounced at 10:10, and it is very well written down in the papers that were given there. Then before the doctors did whatever they wanted to do, and they told us to go and get the OB, and we went to get that OB along with the mother and the father. I hope the father is here, he knows that. Is that true? Yes, we went with them up to the police station. He was questioned here and there because he would not have just gone there and not be asked several questions. That is what brought to 12 p.m.
Maybe you can briefly tell us about what was happening at the moment the boy collapsed. Were they in class? Were they in session? Maybe something that was...
Well, they were in the class. They were in the class, and the teacher noted that some of them were in the class. Madam Abigail, that is 8 months, the class teacher, noted that some learners were in class and others were outside. So he told them to go back to class. And he told them some of those who are outside should stand in front. And when they stood in front, he started questioning them one by one. Why were you outside? Why were you outside? Even before he reached the third person, the boy collapsed. And he was at the farthest end. That is the time the boy collapsed. So the teacher concentrated with dealing with the boy, going to the nurse. But even before going to the nurse, reaching the nurse sick bay, the deputy noted with a lot of concern that the boy was gasping for breath. So immediately after that, he was rushed to the teacher's car and taken to the hospital. So the class teacher immediately came to my office, Madam Abigail, and told me, Madam, there's emergency. There's a boy who has been dashed to the hospital. So immediately I took off, and we went with two more teachers, the class teacher and 2 more teachers. I took my vehicle and I drove off. Before I packed and did everything that I was to do up there, that is the time I came back and I was informed by my deputy about that issue. So that's when we started acting. And we started by calling the mother, then we called the father. And after calling the father and not receiving any call, is that true? Yes. Did you see them? Missed calls. So many missed calls. I authorized my accountant to go for the father. And his father is the one who supplied our boarding section with Sukuma Wiki. True or not true? It's true. It is true. He's the one who supplies the school with Sukuma Wiki. So there's no way out we would have hurt that child. And I know very well that so many people have talked a lot, they have said a lot, but I wish to request the media to put this one clear. The pathologist has come up with the information very clearly and kindly now put it clear to the media, to the public, that this is not true what we have been accused of.
Maybe for more clearer message from the media and confirmation from you. I now understand that the boy was in a line waiting for questioning.
Yeah.
Because of punishment. Maybe does it mean that...
Because of?
There is a questioning that was happening from the class teacher
Mm-hmm.
to the pupils. Maybe does this mean that maybe you have, as a school, maybe you have harsh punishments to an extent that the boy was frightened, causing what the doctor...
But the pathologist has said clearly, you got it right,
I
that is not the cause of that death. That is not the cause.
Cause ya death, kulingana na daktari vile nimeelewa ni kwamba ilitokana na
Fear and panic.
Na mtoto alikuwa kwa line ya punishment ama ya
Not punishment, kindly. You know when you use the word punishment,
ni kuulizwa maswali, line ya kuulizwa maswali.
he was very far, kindly. He was just being questioned.
I'm doing my work, so I must...
Kindly note that it is pure blood circulation. And over and above that, ngoja kidogo. So kindly, I hope I've explained what I wanted to explain. If I go beyond that and the pathologist has given the feedback, I think I'll be doing I'm not the right one to answer those kind of questions. The pathologist is the one who can answer those questions.
The school, maybe you tell us, at what time did the collapse took place? At what time did the collapse took place? At what time did the collapse take place?
The collapse is well recorded. So you can even apply for the CCTV and know when it happened.
Perhaps you can give us the real
Is the school willing to provide the CCTV footage to the media?
If you apply lawfully, you will be given.
Does the school have a nurse?
Yes, the nurse was, we have a school nurse, but she was not present, unfortunately.
So can you please tell us that the school does have a nurse?
It has a nurse, but for yesterday, she happened to be out of school. She was not present.
And how long did it take for the kid to be pronounced dead?
Now, I think
From the time collapsing started?
the remaining,
The
I wish to say this. For the family and any media that is interested in any more clarifications, you are welcome in school.
maybe you explain to us.
You are welcome in school.
The last one, maybe you explain to us the difference or what is the difference between the statement of the mother that the kids were in class making noise and the time the mother was called is at 8:45 to 9 a.m. And when she got to the hospital, the kid was already dead. And your statement that the kid was pronounced
The
dead
chronology of events of calling the mother and the father is well recorded. It is even on phone. You can come, you will be given the logs. So anybody who is interested in any more information, you are welcome to school, and we shall be willing to give you. Thank you so much.